The gala hummed with shallow laughter, but all sound drained away the moment Saki saw him. 3 years. 3 years since she had made the choice that destroyed everything. She pushed through the crowd, her heart slamming against her ribs. Itsuki turned. Those sharp, dark eyes met hers, and in them was nothing. No recognition, no sorrow. Only a flat, impenetrable cold.
Itsuki, wait, please.
He walked away as if she were a ghost. She followed, her heels clicking fast on marble, chasing a man who no longer existed.
Listen to me. I never wanted to hurt you. You have to believe me.
He stared down at her, not a flicker of emotion in his gaze. The silence cut deeper than any word. Her legs gave out. The ball gown spread around her like a wedding train soaked in tears. 3 years ago, she had traded their future for duty. Tonight he returned the favor. From that night on, she would cry every single time she saw him, and he would never look back. Before the gala, before the cold stares, they had been each other's entire world. 2 houses, side by side, and a bond that felt unbreakable.
Promise me, Itsuki. No matter what happens, we'll always stay together.
I promise. Nothing can separate us. We'll face everything together.
But the promise shattered when Saki's father's company crumbled overnight. Debt consumed everything, and the buyer waiting in the shadows was the rival family.
It's a simple deal. Your debts vanish and your daughter becomes my wife. Refuse and your family loses everything.
Itsuki heard the news from the hallway. His hand tightened on the doorframe, knuckles white, his whole future crumbling in someone else's boardroom.
Itsuki, I have to do this. If I don't, my parents lose the house, the company, everything. I can't let them suffer because of me.
This is the end. The one thing I couldn't protect, and she's asking me to step aside.
The engagement was announced the next morning. Daichi's smile was a knife. Saki's hollow nod was the wound. 3 years lay ahead of them, packed with silence and separate prisons. The promise had become ash, and Itsuki stood at the edge, deciding what kind of man he would become. The wedding was flawless, cathedral vows, a groom smiling in conquest. Saki's eyes stayed hollow. Itsuki watched from the last pew, then slipped away before the kiss. Not a single person noticed.
I'll bury this pain in code. One day, I won't be powerless to save anyone.
He joined a dying startup and worked through every night. His only company, the glow of multiple monitors. One evening, an old man with Saki's eyes appeared. Her grandfather had been watching for months.
I know what they did. I can help you change things, but you must agree to my rules.
They shook hands, a silent contract sealed in resolve. No paperwork, only a shared secret. The startup soared, and within years it devoured the very company that had owned Saki's chains. While Itsuki climbed, Saki drifted through her mansion like a ghost. Daichi's betrayals were an open secret. By the gala, Itsuki was a CEO carved from vengeance. And Saki never knew he was the architect of it all. In the suffocating silence of her mansion, Saki waited for a husband who never came home. A jewelry receipt fell from his coat. Diamonds for someone else. Her hands trembled.
You wanted this marriage. Don't pretend you have the right to complain now.
She saw him at a restaurant days later, his arm around another woman, laughing without a care. The charity gala invitation arrived that evening. She stared at it, desperate for a reason to breathe.
Maybe just one night, I can feel like myself again.
Tonight is the execution of a 5-year plan. No hesitation.
Chandeliers glittered as limousines arrived. 2 lives, once intertwined, hurtled toward a collision. Saki stepped out, fragile hope painted on her face. She had no idea he was already inside. Itsuki moved through the crowd, eyes cold as blades, waiting for the moment their gazes would lock.
That silhouette, It can't be. After all this time.
Her body moved before reason. Guests blurred into noise as she cut through the ballroom, breathless.
Itsuki. It's me, please, just look at me.
He didn't slow. She pursued him into a corridor, dim and empty, her voice cracking against marble.
Do you hate me that much? Say something. Anything.
Silence. Then, for an instant, his fingers twitched at his side before fisting tight.
He's a stranger now. The boy who promised me forever is gone.
Her knees hit the floor. The skirt pooled around her like a second wedding gown, heavier than the first.
This is the final test. If she can't fight through this, then she never truly chose me.
Footsteps faded. He left her there, a question waiting where love used to be. The staff lifted her gently, a broken bird in a ball gown. She barely felt their hands. Inside the car, she clutched her arms and saw the cherry tree, pink and perfect, a promise now cruel. Across the lot, Itsuki's silhouette was stone. His eyes tracked her like a heart being dragged away. His mind reeled to a tea house years ago, where the old man laid down the one law he couldn't break.
You will become powerful. But if you speak before she chooses you, she is lost.
Itsuki had agreed. Silence was the price of her freedom. Now his knuckles screamed white against the wheel. The wall he'd built felt like a tomb.
She thinks I'm a monster.
Taillights vanished. 2 red dots swallowed, and with them, a piece of his resolve. But the condition held. He would wait in his cage until she came on her own. The mansion was silent, but from behind the study door, Daichi's voice rang out, laughing about a deal, about cutting her loose.
A deal? What are you talking about? What did you do?
The marriage was always a business move. You were the price, and now the price has outlived its use.
She didn't scream. She walked past him, opened his desk, and spread the documents across the surface.
Accounts emptied. A buyer already named. My sacrifice was toilet paper to him.
In her bedroom, she dragged a suitcase onto the silk sheets and threw in whatever her hands found.
I can't stay here another hour. But where? Who can I even?
His face rose in her mind, cold and unreachable at the gala. But another image followed. The boy who promised forever.
If even a sliver of him remembers, I have to find out.
She zipped the case, unaware that the company she was fleeing had already been devoured by the very man she was running toward. Rain slicked the glass tower. Saki stood at the entrance, suitcase in hand, a heartbeat away from the one man who might still listen. A receptionist's palm rose like a wall. No appointment, no entry.
Please, tell him it's Saki. He'll see me. I know he will.
She was handed a scrap of paper instead of hope. Her fingers shook as she wrote. High above, Itsuki's silhouette darkened the window. He watched her small frame retreat into the storm. The note bore only a few lines. I left him. I'm sorry. Please give me a chance to explain.
She's still running from the problem, not toward me. The condition hasn't been met.
He folded the paper once, twice, and slid it into the drawer where all his old promises slept. The rain had soaked through her coat by the time she looked up, searching for a face that never appeared. Inside, Itsuki's hand pressed flat against the cold glass, a ghost watching his own heart freeze. Days slid together in a cramped hotel room. A cheap TV flickered against the peeling wallpaper. The banner cut through the drone. Acquired. And below it, the unmistakable name, Itsuki's company.
He destroyed Daichi. The company I sold my future to save, his startup swallowed it whole.
The irony twisted in her chest. The man who wouldn't speak to her had been silently carving out her freedom.
Not just cold, powerful. He was the architect from the start, and he let me cry at his feet.
Daiichi's voice slithered back. You were the price. That price was now a smoking crater.
Why? Revenge for walking away? Or did he still? No, I can't guess. I have to hear the truth.
She swayed to her feet, the walls shrinking around her. The note had failed. Words wouldn't be enough this time.
I'll face him myself. If he won't see me, then I'll wait until he can't ignore me anymore.
The storm hadn't stopped, but this time she wasn't running. She was bringing the storm to him. For hours she waited, a drowned figure pressed against the cold stone of the building, the storm unrelenting. Finally, the revolving door spat out a dark suit and an umbrella. Itsuki stopped for half a breath, then moved to pass.
Itsuki, after everything, you can't even look at me?
You made your choice. I'm just respecting it.
I left him. I know you destroyed the company. I know you're not what you pretend.
He peeled her fingers away, one by one, as if disarming a bomb. His voice came out mechanical.
Go back. That's all I have to say.
Her knees buckled. The world tilted, and all the rain in the sky seemed to funnel into one small body collapsing. Itsuki dropped the umbrella. In one motion, he caught her before she hit the pavement, his arm locking around her waist. He held her there, the cold mask cracking just once as he pressed her closer, then rebuilt it, stone by stone. The beeping of monitors filled the sterile room. Itsuki hadn't moved from the chair beside her bed. The door slid open with a soft hush. An old man stepped through, his presence a silent thunder.
You're towing the line, Itsuki. The arrangement was clear. She must come to you, not fall at your feet.
I know the condition. I've followed every word. She still hasn't asked me for anything.
Then why is she in a hospital bed? The test isn't about punishing her. It's about her choosing freedom.
Beneath the hum of machines, a single eyelid quivered. Saki wasn't fully unconscious anymore.
Condition. Choose. Not you. What does that mean?
Remember, Itsuki, I backed you because I knew you'd honor this. But if you break the rule, it's over.
Through the fog, 3 words burned into her mind. She must choose. The coldness wasn't hate. It was a wall. Her eyes opened a slit. She saw Itsuki's strained profile, and for the first time, she questioned everything she thought she knew.
You said there's a condition. What is it? What does he want from me?
Nothing you're ready to give.
Then tell me. I'm tired of being a sacrifice in someone else's game.
Then stop waiting for permission. The only one keeping you trapped is you.
She stared at him, and for the first time she saw not a victor, but a man caged by his own rules.
He's not going to save me. I have to be the one to break out.
By the next afternoon, she sat in a lawyer's office, ink drying beside her name. Daiichi didn't contest anything. She left the mansion with nothing but a suitcase and a decision.
This is my first step. Now I find the truth, my way.
In his office, Itsuki slid the divorce notification into a folder marked with her grandfather's seal. Months dissolved into routine. Saki's new apartment was tiny, but it was hers. Every creak of the floor a reminder she was free. She found work at a small design firm. Not glamorous, but steady. For the first time, she earned her own keep.
I don't need a savior anymore. I just need to stand on my own 2 feet.
A promotion came. Her boss handed her the certificate with a smile, calling her a natural leader. She was building a life from scratch. But at night, the quiet was loud, and in the stillness, a single face always returned, Itsuki's.
He told me to stop waiting for permission. I've done that. Now I have to tell him what I really want.
She wrote for hours, the ink bleeding her heart onto paper. Not a plea, a declaration of the love she'd never stopped carrying.
I'm sending this. And whatever happens, I'll know I gave everything.
She sealed the envelope, his name stark on the front, and dropped it into the world with a prayer. The ball was in his court now, and somewhere on the other side of town, a drawer still held all his old promises. Itsuki's shadow stretched long across the mahogany desk. The letter lay open, his thumb tracing the ink for the 100th time. A single line from her hand burned into him. I'm not asking you to save me. I'm asking you to meet me as I am now.
She finally stopped running. Now it's my turn.
He found the old man in his study, waiting like a chess player who'd already seen the endgame.
She left the cage by her own hand. She worked, she wrote, she came. The condition is fulfilled.
Then I can tell her everything? No more silence?
The wall was for her. Now the wall is inside you. Will you tear it down?
I've built this coldness for years. If I let it go, and she still leaves.
His phone buzzed with a single message sent the old cherry tree. Tomorrow. 11 characters that cost him a decade of pride. He left the building without his umbrella. The rain was falling again, but this time he walked toward it. The old cherry tree stood exactly as memory had preserved it. Pink blossoms scattered like confessions on the wet grass.
He came.
I promised someone that I wouldn't interfere unless you came to me on your own. That someone was your grandfather.
He explained the secret investment, the hostile takeover, all orchestrated by the old man who never wanted her sold.
Why didn't you tell me? I thought you hated me.
Because you had to choose. If I'd pulled you out, you'd always wonder if it was my will or yours.
The pinky swear they made as children. He'd held it like a blade and a shield.
Every time I walked away, I died a little. But I had to be sure you weren't just running from another prison.
You idiot. I would have chosen you from the start if I'd known.
In that clearing, under the blossoms that had witnessed their first vow, the truth finally set them both free.
I'm sorry I didn't leave sooner. I was so scared. Scared of losing you. Scared of being alone.
I was angry. For years, I hated you for choosing them over me. Every time I saw your face, it burned.
But I never stopped loving you. Not for a single second. That was my real prison.
I know. I read your note 100 times. It cracked me open, but I still couldn't speak.
3 years of solitude crumbled between them. Every tear salted a wound they had carried alone.
We can't erase what happened, but if you're willing, we can try.
Try is enough. As long as it's with you.
They walked out of the past under the same blossoms that once held their promise, now holding their first true choice. There was no fairy tale ending waiting. Only two people who had learned that love required more than sacrifice. It required choice. And for the first time in 3 years, they faced the same direction. Months after their reconciliation, a shadow from the past surfaced. Daichi, drunk and ruined, pounded on Saki's apartment door.
You ruined me. Now I'll destroy what's left of your pathetic life.
Itsuki opened the door and stood like a fortress. Not a muscle in his face moved.
You're done. Say one more word to her, and it won't be security you deal with.
His whole body trembles with old anger, but he's holding it in. For me.
Security swarmed. Daichi's shouts faded down the hallway, never to stain their doorstep again. From the landing window, grandfather observed the scene. A single nod, and he withdrew.
You didn't have to do that. I could have called the police.
It's not about protecting you. It's about proving that nothing can shake us now.
They returned inside. The silence, no longer an enemy, but a blanket. The past had finally lost its grip. 1 year later, beneath the same cherry tree that had witnessed their first promise, Itsuki walked her to the edge of the river.
Why did you bring me here today? It's not our anniversary or anything special.
This place holds one promise. I came to make another. I've waited years to say this without walls between us.
He descended to one knee, the box opening like a second sunrise.
Saki, every cold day was a prayer that you'd choose us. Marry me not out of duty, but because you love me.
The tears came before the yes, the purest she'd ever cried. Yes, yes, I love you. I've always loved you, Isuki.
His steady hands slid the ring onto her finger, a perfect circle, unbroken at last. The river carried away 3 years of grief, leaving only the reflection of two people finally whole. In a quiet boutique, Saki stood before a mirror, lace pooling at her feet. No debt, no duty, just her.
I don't need a prince's gown. I just want to be myself when I walk toward him.
Itsuki paced through the garden, his clipboard a shield against old anxieties. Every rose, every ribbon had to mirror the day they reclaimed.
Once, I built walls to protect her. Now I'm arranging flowers. Some reversals are worth the risk.
Grandfather found him there, cane in hand, eyes sharp but softer.
Years ago, I swore no daughter of mine would be pawned again. Your pain was the key to her cage. You loved her without conditions. That's why I built the path for you both.
He placed a velvet box in Itsuki's palm, a sapphire brooch for her bouquet, his final yes. At twilight, they met at the venue. She leaned into him, the brooch pinned above her heart. The night held its breath. Come dawn, they would turn the page forever. Dawn spilled gold over the garden. White roses bowed in the breeze, and every chair held a person who believed in second chances. When the music swelled, Saki appeared on her father's arm. Her lace train whispered through the petals scattered along the grass.
She's walking toward me. Every moment of silence was worth this. I spent years building walls, but you tore them down just by choosing us. I vow to never make you choose alone again.
I gave away my voice once. You gave it back. I vow to use it, always, to stand beside you.
Rings glinted as they slipped them on, a quiet circle, unbroken. The officiant smiled. You may kiss, and the world exhaled. In the front row, Grandfather rose, his glass trembling. Tears carved paths through old lines. Petals rained as they walked back, hand in hand, no longer the broken pair from the gala corridor. For the first time, the word wife meant freedom for them both. Later, beneath the fairy lights, a slow song pulled them to the center. Hands met, the world narrowed to a circle of two.
I used to dread crowds, but with you, this feels like the first quiet I've ever known.
When the music paused, Grandfather rose. His glass caught the light, and his voice, steady as oak, filled the garden.
To the girl who saved herself and the boy who waited with an open door. May your future never need a key.
Glasses lifted. No one cheered louder than the old man who had moved mountains from the shadows. As dusk softened the sky, they slipped past the laughter and into a quiet corner of the garden.
All those years, I never imagined a day could feel so ours.
It's not borrowed. It's not a deal. It's just us now.
They watched the sun slip below the hedge, the light fading like old scars. Tomorrow would bring mail and meetings. Tonight held only breath and belonging. A few seconds later, they stood on the penthouse balcony, the night wind brushing away the last of the champagne. The city sprawled beneath them, a river of lights, while their hands found each other on the railing. No grand speech remained, just the quiet weight of two rings, their edges catching the distant glow.
Once, I thought power meant never needing anyone. Turns out it means building something together.
And I thought love was sacrifice, but it's choice. Every single day.
They looked out at the same skyline where they had once been strangers. Now every light was a witness. They had been bound by duty, tested by silence, and broken by time. But they rebuilt. Not from obligation, but from a decision made freely, side by side. And this time, they wrote their own ending.